Hello. I'd like to pick up two comments that you've made. The first one is from Anne Nooney 9907, who says the rules of war are not being followed. Tim, it's a disgrace. Well, I think actually the problem is that the rules of war are being followed by Israel. The disgrace is that the rules of war, are not sufficient, and maybe that's something that internationally we need to reconsider. Not only are the rules of war being followed, but, for example, Netanyahu boasts that 45 rabbis gave him permission to bomb areas in Gaza, including hospitals. I don't know how true that is. I know that there are there are a variety of different views about morality and about religious sensibility, as well as following the rules of law. But as we move through history, our moral sensitivity is sharpened, and the fact that we've got a war now which is playing out in real time on daily media means we are obviously much more sensitive. Obviously, a word I shouldn't be using. We are much more sensitive to the reality of the situation, and it is horrific. So that's the first point, and maybe we need to look at that in a little bit more detail. But the rules of war are clear. If unfortunately the Geneva Convention is quite clear, and the rules of engagement are quite clear, including the killing of civilians in places where combatants are hiding, which is why, for example, in the engagement in Iraq, there were so few civilian casualties recorded, because those civilians who are killed in a site that is hiding combatants are not regarded as civilians under the rules of law, under the rules of war. So we really need to revise those rules of war to make them relevant to modern concerns. The second point, the second comment, which I think is interesting, is Dante's Cave 1 says, "You keep trying to kick Harry and spare. Why? The book is undeniably a great success, yet you keep trying to portray it as a failure any way you can. The book saved publishers and accounted for the most success and money, most books sold, fastest selling book, etc. This is a great biography, has critics' praise, public loves it, and you should read it. In America, we have little libraries in neighborhoods individuals establish, and people leave books behind for next person to read in B&Bs and hotels, etc." Right. Well, I entirely agree. First of all, I have read Spare, and I did a YouTube video about it the day I read it. I read it on the day I got it. And it is a great read, number one. Number two, I really don't think I do kick Harry. In fact, if anything, I'm on the other side of the fence. I like Harry, and I hope I promote Harry. I have great reservations about some of the stories which are coming out, and there's quite a big story bubbling away under the surface at the moment about Prince William, the Prince of Wales, and about alleged affairs, and how this is suppressed and partly manipulated by feeding stories to Dan Wootton and getting aides to feed stories to people like Dan Wootton about Prince Harry and Meghan as a distraction, and from the bigger stories about, as I say, the alleged affair of Prince William, which would be the bigger story, and the royal family, it is claimed, would do anything to stop that story getting out, and the friends of Prince William have been very tight-lipped in Norfolk about the story. Is it just one affair? It seems to be more than one, and William seems to go from one character to another. But at the moment, What is undoubtedly the case is that the Princess of Wales, Kate, is extraordinarily stoic and a remarkable a remarkable person to simply breeze through this series of encounters, and she is unbelievably stoic, and that I think is the story which needs to come out rather than the tittle tattle, and she needs as much support as we can provide. But the idea that I'm kicking Harry is nonsensical. The idea that I might kick the book Spare, well, I don't think the book is very well written, and it's written with in language which is not quite the voice of Prince Harry. It's very much a page turner, but given the fact that somebody has ghosted it, given the fact that somebody with extraordinary credentials has ghosted it, it could have been significantly better, and it's that failure which I think is a little bit sad. But Harry, I don't kick.